There's been a lot of talk about the new Elvis.
Wise men say
So people saying a lot of things.
He's dividing this nation.
fools rushing,
You gotta listen to the people that you love.
but I can't help
But in the end, you gotta listen to yourself.
Elvis in cinemas June 23.
Hi, Olivia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking a minute to chat with me this morning. It's always nice to see a Perth local smashing it.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to another Perth local.
It's bloody freezing over here at the moment, so stay over there.
Jeez.
Congratulations on the film. It's incredible. It's just nuts. Like, I remember watching you in The Visit
Oh,
back in the
jeez.
day. It's a
Back in
stellar
the
film.
day. Take us back. Yeah.
I interviewed Ed for it, and
Yeah.
he said all good things about you.
Oh.
But you look at where you've come from and where you are now. Like, obviously you had The Staircase come out recently and all that, but this is big. Like, how's the experience been for you?
I mean, it's such a whirlwind. It's been I auditioned for this film when I was 20, and I just turned 24. So it's been a hot minute, I think, in Elvis world. And I think to get it out finally and to have the support that we've been receiving, it's been very, very special. And yeah, it's a huge pinch me moment.
Yeah, for sure. And like, obviously playing Priscilla Presley is huge in its own right. Like, I've been a big fan of Elvis for a long time, and so watching back through old footage on the odd occasion, like the other night after I watched the film, I had a binge and watched a whole bunch of footage of his.
Absolutely.
But how did you prepare? Like, what was your process like?
It was a hell of a lot of research, obviously. I mean, that's a given. I think, her voice was very obviously different to my own. So I did a lot of sort of vocal work, I suppose. I worked a lot with Polly Bennett, our movement coach, at sort of manifesting her physicality with softness and femininity. I think a big part of her was very soft and feminine. So to bring that to the role was very important. But yeah, it was reading her book, reading books written about her, watching interviews. It was, just sort of throwing myself into it.
So, okay, when you're actually filming, so when you're on set and like the night before you're about to go on set, do you have like a routine that you go through? Do you sit there and
Sleep is always paramount. That's always important. I used to listen to her Graceland tour before every night when I would go to sleep, just because it felt familiar, and she has a really beautiful voice, so it was important to sort of listen to the cadence and everything else. But yeah, good night's sleep, maybe a face mask, hot tea in the morning, just looking after myself, I suppose.
And obviously, like, you're working with Baz Lurhmann, which he's an icon of Australian cinema and worldwide cinema. What was it like the first time you met him? Because he can be a quite, what's the word for it? Eccentric? Is that the word?
Fabulous.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Beguiling. He's got an infectious energy. I think one of the first things that I felt when I was around him was sort of, I think the level that he operates at is very, very high. He's incredibly intelligent, incredibly switched on, very, very curious. And he stays curious throughout, which I think is a rare quality to have in a person, let alone, I think, a director who's had such a sort of, acclaimed career as he did. But yeah, I mean, the first time that I properly met him was actually the first time that I met Austin, and we all sat down and we had lunch at his little cabana office that he'd set up in the middle of the studio. And yeah, an incredible energy to be around.
Yeah, and moving on to Austin, did you get much rehearsal time to bond or to
For
like
sure.
get to know each
I
other?
mean, I think that was really paramount to bringing these two characters to life in we had a lot of discussions, Baz, us, and I, about, we wanted them to be sort of like a Bonnie and Clyde sort of energy.
Yep.
We wanted them to feel just like two kids in love, and less the sort of iconic celebrity couple that we, remember them by. So yeah, it was pretty easy. Austin's a great guy, and yeah, we had a really great time together.
I really loved that scene with you and Austin, and we're not going to go spoilers here for people that haven't watched it, but the scene in the car at the airport, that's all I'll say.
Yes.
It seemed like a fairly heavy scene to shoot because of the subject matter that you were talking about.
For sure.
How was it on the day though? Like how
Well,
yeah.
the funny thing about that scene is that it originally wasn't in the film. It was something that we had put, or that Baz had sort of had this idea for a week or two beforehand. And once we shot it, we were like, how is that not originally, like that film wouldn't be complete without that scene. I think, it's an incredibly integral reflection of their bond, I think, in real life too. I'll never forget, I don't know if you've seen the image of them sort of walking out of the divorce proceedings holding hands. I think that, the fact that she has protected his legacy and his name is such a testament to their love and their connection. So an incredibly important scene, and I'm so happy that it made it into the final cut.
Yeah, I actually watched an interview with Priscilla last night from a couple of months ago, and you can still see there's a lot of love there.
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
time she talks about him, she lights up and all that.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite day on set or a scene that you filmed? Obviously, other than
in a lot of interviews I've been saying the 68 special, the comeback special, because it was the first time I got to see us in the leather doing the performance. It was incredible.
That great leather costume.
The great leather costume, so crazy. But honestly as well, my very first day doing a proper scene myself was the first scene that we see Priscilla in at the window when they're sort of its early days in Germany. And that was just really fun because I got to sort of play around, and we did a bit of improv that day. And it was the first time that me and us really got to get in the ring and sort of play with the chemistry. So yeah, I would say maybe that day.
Oh, great. And I'm going to have to wrap up in a sec. So what's next for you? What's on the horizon? Anything interesting?
I mean, right now, I'm just trying to get through this press tour, man. It's crazy. We're flying up 3 countries in a week and a half. It's nuts. I think, I've got a couple of things, coming up that I can't speak about because they haven't been announced. But I'm just excited to be here to talk about the film. It's one of my favorite films that I've seen in such a long time. And, the fact that I get to be in it is just, it's something else. So just happy to be here.
Oh, well, you did fantastic, and let's hope it goes gangbusters when it comes out as well. So
I hope it goes gangbusters too.
Congratulations, and thanks very much.
Thank you.